skipping. Just a bit of a warm-up. Next, we'll move on to the boxing. You don't have to have a boxing bag. You can do what we call shadow boxing if you'd like. You don't need gloves, but they are helpful. You can purchase them pretty cheap at a lot of different places like Kmart, etc. So, a bit of shadow boxing. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put my left foot in front. And when I do the boxing, I'm going to make sure that when I throw my left punches, my right hand stays up with my chin here, and I throw them with power and speed. And I'm always going to start with that left, and then I come over with my right. And so if you're shadow boxing, you don't have a bag, you're going to throw me left, right, rest, left, right, rest, left, right, rest. If you've got a bag, or you've got a wall, and you've got some gloves to wear, we're doing the same thing. We're going left, right, rest, left, right, rest. And so we're going to do now the same as the skipping. We did 100 skips, we're going to do 100 punches. When you're ready, I'm going to go. Done my boxing, so now I'm going to move into some extra activities. I've done my skipping, I've done my boxing. I'm going to hit the ground and I'm going to get into some push-ups. So when I do my push-ups, I can take my boxing gloves off now. I'm going to get into the push-ups. I'm not going to be doing 100 of these push-ups like I did 100 of my skipping and 100 of my boxing. I'm actually going to be doing 20 push-ups. But when I do my 20 push-ups, I'm going to do a few sets of them. So I'm going to start off up nice and high. Back is straight, as you can see here. I'm going to head down to the ground and push up, back up. The lower you get, the better off it is, but don't let your chest touch the ground. And try and stay here, don't arch your back for me. So we're going to see how we go with these push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway. We're ready to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway. We're ready to go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Feeling good. Got some more students joining. Welcome. For those of you that have joined, I started with a little bit of skipping rope. Did 100 skips. If you don't have a skipping rope, that's fine. You can just pretend with your hands and make sure your feet leave the ground. I'll show you down here. Get those feet off the ground every single time. I did 100 of those. Then I use my boxing bag, but if you don't have a boxing bag, that's fine. I put my left foot in front, my hands up at my chin, left, right, left, right. I did 100 of those, but I was using my bag and my boxing gloves to protect my knuckles. What I then did was I just did 20 push-ups. Starting to feel really good for my whole body. I'm going to take a break away from the muscle development now. I'm going to go back to the cardio, a little bit similar to the skipping. I'm going to do some star jumps. So when I do my star jumps, I want to do about 25 or 30 of these star jumps. See how I go. Make sure I got some room. Spread my arms out, spread my legs out, and we're going to get going. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Feeling good. I don't think 30 was enough. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. I think what I might do is I might do another 30. Feeling good. Stay with this star jump. We'll go again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Feeling better now. We're going to move into another cardio exercise. It's a pretty high level one, so we're going to do some burpees next. But the way that I do my burpees is a little bit challenging because of the way that I add an element to it. So when we do a burpee, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to jump up and touch the sky, and then we're going to get down into that push-up position and essentially let our chest very quickly touch the ground. But what I'm going to show you, I'm going to move this a little bit, show you zoom down. If you have a look, I've actually got a bit of tape on the ground here, which segments out parts of my working exercise mat. And if you want, you could even get the skipping rope. You could get yourself a mop or a broom, and you place it down on the ground. And in between each burpee, you're actually jumping from left to right and going over the mop. So burpees are pretty challenging. So I think we might just do 10 of these, but they only count on the up and down as one. So I'm going to show you and I'm going to count out loud, and hopefully you can follow along when we do these burpees. Just got my mop on the ground. You can use a carpeted area. You can use an area inside your house. It doesn't matter. When you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that's tough. Give myself a little break now. Just check the heart rate on the watch. And it's getting up there, and you've got to make sure you give yourself some rest and have plenty of water at the same time. Feels pretty warm in here. Sweating means you're working. Thank you for those people that have logged in, and hopefully you're following along and enjoying what we're doing here. I can get rid of this mop before I trip over it. Next little activity that you're going to see is some very basic squats and lunges. So when you complete these squats and lunges, just move this camera down so you can see. I want you to see a few things that are important. My back is nice and straight. You don't want to hunch your back over or arch your back out. I want to keep it nice and straight. You want to have your feet pointing straight in front of you, parallel to each other. You also want to have your feet roughly shoulder width apart. When we squat down, try not to bend your knees out or bend your knees in. Keep them nice and straight. And we really don't want to be using our hands and our thighs to push ourselves up. Just leave it all to the legs. So when we go down, we're going to go down so that our knees get to a 90-degree or more bend and back up. And if you can, you keep your hands out in front of you, not dropping down, not lifting up, straight out in front of you. We're going to see how close we can get to 20 of these, nice and slow and controlled. 1, 2, legs cracking. 8, 9, we're halfway. 11, 12, try and get to 20. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and there's that 20. Definitely feeling it in the legs right now. So I'll give myself a little stretch out, get the blood moving again, bounce up and down a little bit. This workout's been good. So I said we're going to do some squats and lunges. We did the squats, now we're going to do the lunges. So on these lunges, the feet are shoulder width apart again, and this time we're going to step out in front of ourselves. We're going to lower ourselves down. I'll show you side on in a moment, but the back stays straight. We don't lean side to side, forward or back. We put ourselves down, straight back up, and back into our standing position. Then we swap legs. The left foot goes out in front, down, and back up. So from that side on position, this is how it looks. We go forward, not too far forward, and we bend that back leg at the same time, back up and together, and then we go the opposite foot, down, up, keep the back nice and straight. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to do about 10 on each leg. So when we do 10 on each leg, when we do our 10 on each leg, we're going to count them out as 20, and hopefully by the end of it, we're feeling pretty good. After that, we'll do some crunches. After that, we'll have a little bit of a stretch and we're done. So here we go with those lunges. I might stand this way this time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You want to make it harder. Grab some weights at the same time. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 10. Feeling pretty tired now. Gonna head down to the ground. Have another sip of water. We're gonna get into some abdominal work. So we're gonna do some crunches. When we do these crunches, there's a couple of things to remember. When you do your crunches, it's not necessarily about how fast you come up on the sit-up, and it is about how slow and controlled you go back down on the sit-up. It's not necessarily about how high you're able to sit up as well. It's about activating the core muscles. So, really good to try and hook your feet under something. I'm going to use my dumbbells that you saw me using before. They're pretty strong and heavy. You can put a book under you, a pillow, do it on the side of your couch, whatever it might be. It just gives you a bit of support. And have those knees bent 90 degrees or even a little bit more, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to slowly lower down. And while I do this, I really don't want to hunch my back unless I'm feeling my core active. So I like to place my arms nice and straight on the thighs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit up from the hips and slide my hands until my palm goes to the edge of my knees and slowly back down, and that will be 1. And these are pretty tough, so again, we're going to try and get to 20, but we'll see how we go. And by about 12 or 13, you really should be starting to feel a burn in your stomach. But we'll see how we go on this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, stomach. And I'm going to perform this cat stretch and really feel a stretch through my stomach. If I need to, I lift my head up, look up at the ceiling, and really feel it pulling apart at the stomach area. Keep pulling. Get back into a recovery, table stance, and sit right back down onto your knees, head down, stretch the arms out. Get into a totally relaxed situation. Breathe heavily. And we'll call that a workout for the day. Good job, guys. Thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this.